Hello friends and welcome to a new series. I think I'll call it Why Did I Lose, but that's not very creative. I'm not sure what to call it yet. The idea though is that instead of a long drawn out replay analysis where we focus on everything, nitpick a lot of different details, this is going to be looking at one major mistake that either loses the game or makes the game way harder than it needed to be, even if you end up winning that game. And hopefully this will be shorter, a little bit more condensed, so for people who don't like as long videos, I hope this helps. And even if you liked long videos, I still hope this helps. So today we're going to look at this game here. This was sent by Voltaic playing the Dark Willow. He is position 5 this game. And originally I just answered him on the YouTube comments, but then I decided this is a great example for this new series. So here we are. I fooled you. You are getting a video. Let's look at this draft. This is actually a position 4 Beastmaster. That's why he ended up being position 5 Dark Willow. So it was a little bit of a weird draft. But what that means is that Dark Willow, who I personally think is better as a 4, like she scales pretty well as a support. A Beastmaster, also typically a core, being played as a support, which means that he's going to be weaker at the start. But if the game goes on long enough, eventually it's kind of a core as well. And so we kind of have this 5 hero scaling lineup topped off with a Spectre, one of the best scaling heroes in the game. Now let's look at the enemy team. They have a Sven. It's pretty strong in the mid game, but he drops off late, especially when you have a lot of BKB piercing abilities like this team has. You have a Broodmother, very strong early to mid game, drops off a bit late game. The other heroes, kind of all early to mid game heroes. Like Jakiro's okay late, Abaddon's like, okay. But to me, this lineup, your game plan is to win in the mid game before Spectre comes online. You want a strong start, and you don't have to win, right away, but you need to get in a position to win. And if we look at the graph, the Spectre team is actually in the lead. At 20 minutes. Okay, they threw a little bit at 20 minutes, but up to that point, they're actually doing pretty well. And we're not going to focus on this issue here. We're going to be jumping over here because this is where a mistake happens that ends up leading to the loss of the game. Whereas, here, obviously, it was a bit of a mistake, but they kind of recover a bit. So we're going to talk about this huge mistake here. Now, if we look at the map, all the tier 1 towers are gone, but all the tier 2s are up, and that favors the late game team. A Broodmother usually wants to have more towers at this point, 28 minutes. And if we look at net worth, Sven is at the top of the net worth, but Broodmother not doing the hottest, and Spectre having a bit of a rough game, but not too far behind, like, say, Broodmother, and you at least have a Tiny and a Necrophos who are doing quite well. You're even 2k up. So the position of Radiant is pretty good here, and our game plan should simply be, we will win if we continue like this into the late game. Maintain the lead, and in fact, even if it's relatively even, that favors us because we are the stronger late game team. We don't need to do anything crazy, push out lanes when it's needed, defend the lanes, that we can, but don't do anything that will lose the game, because as long as the game continues going on, that naturally favors us. We are going to see over-aggression. That is the lesson of today. I should have said that sooner. Oops. Over-aggression, as a late game team in the lead, you don't really need to do that. Because like I just said, you just want to maintain the status quo. But if you make an over-aggressive play and it backfires on you, that's not the end of the world, but you just need to reset, wait for everything to settle down, don't do anything crazy, and then continue with that status quo idea. Like, okay, made a mistake, let's relax, keep dragging this game out, we'll be fine. We're going to see them be too aggressive, and then continue that. Continue to be too aggressive, never have that reset, and then that leads to the end of the game. So they're over here. They smoke on the enemy side of the team at night, which is already a little weird. But it's going to kind of pay off because they're going to kill this Sven right here. And we use Roar. Missed the Brambles. Oops. But in the end, we get the Sven kill. Fantastic. He was top net worth. What do we use? We used Bedlam and we used Roar. Haunt is still down from earlier. 40 seconds. What should happen right now? Nothing. Nothing needs to happen right now. You know, we can push this tower. Sure, there's 4 of us. Let's, like, don't go crazy. Because Spectre doesn't have Haunt, which means it's only 4 of us. And the 4 of us don't have Roar, and we don't have Bedlam. Bedlam, kind of a low cooldown, but still, 30 seconds. We shouldn't do anything right now. Just relax. Push out the lanes. Continue to farm. We're the late game team. What do we do instead? We feel strong. Oh, we just killed their strongest hero. Let us go invade their jungle. I understand the mentality behind this. But this is like high risk, high reward. You know, if you take this risk and you end up continuing to kill them, great. That's going to be fantastic for you. But what if you lose this fight here? Well, you're going to see you open up the possibility to lose the game. And so from my perspective, I would not have done this, but we're now going to see what plays out because of it. So they run in here into Broodmother's webs. Now, this is an Archon game, so Broodmother's webs are not the best spread out. She should have more webs over here if she's playing defensively. She has like a couple over here. It's really all over the place. But still, typically you don't run into Broodmother's webs. It's a recipe for disaster. But we do that partly because we have this ward up here and we see the supports. But we go back to that idea. Is this risk necessary to win the game? It's not. We were going to win the game without taking this risk, so we didn't need to. And what you're going to see, because we take this risk, and we're a little spread out, like Necrophos is over here, now he's chasing this, now we're getting killed there, missed the ult, unfortunate. Now he's dead, we're going to lose this fight. Now Necrophos is dead here. I believe Tiny gets out because they don't have detection. So we went from having this Sven pick off, and we had about, I think it was like 70 seconds while Sven was dead. We're pretty free to push out the lanes safely and farm up our jungle. That is 70 seconds we are adding to the game time, and we like that. We're the late game team. But we ran into their jungle where it was still 4v4, and we are missing 2 of our ultimates. So who favors? What does that fight favor? That favors the Dire side. They have all their abilities, and it's a 4v4. Spectre's alive, but Spectre doesn't have Haunt, so she doesn't count. Now we're going to see him try to salvage this and go for this Abaddon kill. And they use Haunt. This is really bad. Haunt just came up, and they decided, let's try to kill this Abaddon. Pop quiz. Can you kill this Abaddon? No. You already heard his ult pop off. You cannot kill this Abaddon. Even if both of these heroes get out right now, is this worth it? Probably not. Now, if you were actually able to kill Abaddon, I think it actually might have been okay. But Abaddon is like one of the only heroes you could never kill because of his ultimate, right? So this is like the worst target. One of the only cases you cannot do this is to go for this kill that will not happen because of his ult. And now we don't have Haunt, which is a huge team play element. Now we're going to see Tiny die here. Spectre's going to get out, but Tiny died and we used Haunt. That is a big loss for us. Start a timer, a mental timer right now. At 28 minutes, we started this gank here. We got a Sven kill, about 30 seconds later. That was good for us. After losing this fight and after using Haunt, this is where you need to reset. It's where we need to say, okay, what's the longest cooldown we have to wait for? We need Spectre Haunt to resume our typical game plan where Spectre pushes a lane by herself and gets a lot of farm, and the 4 of us, we push out lanes together. We don't do anything crazy, but if a fight breaks out, Spectre Haunts in, that favors us. Because Spectre Haunt is just really good, and you have, like, these big pick-off skills, Roar and Necro ult. Those are fantastic to quickly kill someone and turn the fight into your favor. So as long as it's a full 5-on-5 fight, like, that's okay. We don't even need to take those, but if that happens, that's what we want. So we have to wait for that. We need to wait for Spectre Haunt. Everyone has to respawn. We need all that. But this is when the enemy team is a little strong, right? Everyone is alive now. Yeah, they're missing some ults, but we have 2 that are dead for another minute, and we don't have the Haunt. So now they can start making plays, and they need to. They're the team that has the more early mid-game focused lineup. And before, they couldn't really make plays because we were even, we had everyone, but now we've given them a bit of a window. And what are they going to do with it? We'll speed up. The next thing they were going to do is they're going to prioritize Roshan. They need that to be able to break high ground. In fact, sorry. Let's go back to both teams. We see them come get Roshan. Now, we have all of our team alive now. Can we fight Roshan? Now, even if Broodmother didn't have a double damage, we don't really feel good about fighting Roshan right now. Why? Longest cooldown, Spectre Haunt, our big team fight element, is still down. For 60 seconds, we feel uncomfortable coming to this fight because we don't have that. Even though we have everything else, Spectre Haunt makes us weak. We might still want to try to delay this, you know, throw out some long-range spells, see if we can get a pick off somewhere, except the enemy team should all be here, so you can't really pick anyone off. But, you know, if we were able to get a pick off, now we feel a bit more comfortable fighting. So we can zoom out a little bit, see how this works out. They know Roshan's happening, but look at where the team is lined up. We got 5 of the Dire heroes here, where they want to be. We have 3 people here, and 2 cores here. But Spectre has no haunt, which means she cannot be in this fight quickly. Now he has a blink, so he can be a little closer, but he's still a little bit distant. Which means as we start trying to delay, we're split up. And look, they're coming to fight. They have 3 heroes up here against 3 of ours, but their 3 heroes are much stronger than these 3. Necro is dead. We're not going to get anything back from this Roar. So like if Roar was used and you get a return kill, fine. But now Roar is essentially wasted and he is dead. Start a new timer. We needed 40 seconds for Haunt to come up. Now we need to wait 90 seconds for Necrophos to be alive. And about the same amount of time, 80 seconds for Beastmaster's Roar to come up. A Tiny looking for a pickoff, but they're all together. You can't really get it. Sees this Dazzle, tries for it. Could have had that, honestly. If he did the toss combo, that would have been a kill. That would have actually been pretty good. It gives you a chance to still contest this once Haunt is up. But because he doesn't get it, now we just kind of have to give this up, because it's unlikely we'll get another chance to pick off Dazzle for free like that. Abaddon can run up here. He doesn't care. He is really strong. Now Tiny tries to come in again, do the same idea. Now remember, we're not strong, and so we can't really do what he's doing, and he's going to die for this. New timer. We just needed 38 more seconds for Necrophos to be alive, but now we have to wait an additional 40 seconds for Tiny to be alive. So they're definitely going to get Aegis now. Another timer. Even when Tiny is up, they will have Aegis for 5 minutes. 5 minutes from this time, they are stronger than us. No matter where we fight them, 5 on 5, they have Aegis that tends to favor them, especially when it's this close of a game. Now, where can we fight that will cancel that out? Our high ground advantage benefits us. We have the tower doing some damage. We have Fortify. We have the aura and armor, the health aura and armor from towers. We're close to our base if we buy back, whereas if they buy back, they have to like TP in, run all the way out here. We have high ground vision versus low ground vision. This spot is our best chance to counteract Aegis and make the fights essentially even. What we see instead is that they're going to try to defend this tier 2. And the question is, why? Why would you ever defend this tier 2? Does it make sense? Tiny is not up yet. And even if Tiny was up, do we want to fight this tower? No, because we don't have that many advantages from fighting this tower, and they have Aegis. That favors them. I just laid out all the advantages of high ground, right? So this is where we want to fight. Just sacrifice this tower. Who cares? We're still trying to get that point where we reset. Now it's getting harder because now we have to reset not only our own cooldowns, but we have to play around the Aegis and wait for that to disappear, and then that is when it's truly reset. We have this 5-minute period where we have to, like, wait. No. They're not going to wait. They're going to go. And because we're out here at tier 2, they go on Spectre. They switch to Beastmaster. Kill Beastmaster. He has to buy back. Part of our high ground defense is that we have buybacks. We've now used it. This makes him almost a liability now. If he dies, it's a huge issue. He won't come back for the fight. We also used Fortify. I was playing a little too fast for you guys to see it. But that was also part of our high ground defense. So in attempting to defend this tier 2, we have now sacrificed part of our high ground advantage. Now Necrophos is also going to die because he was also trying to help here. This is still part of losing this tier 2. Necrophos is dead. And we use Terrorize. Coincidentally, both 90 seconds we have to wait for them. So now, we don't have Fortify. Don't have Buyback on Beastmaster. We've lost an ultimate ability. We've lost a hero. Our best shot was a 5-on-5 at the high ground. Now, if the enemy team comes up here, at best, we can do 5-on-4, and we don't even have all our abilities. And they don't have all of their abilities. Yeah, right? They're using some BKBs and ultimates. Like, that's true. But they have Aegis, and, like, they have more heroes. It's still, like, it benefits them. And now we're fighting out here. We used Roar. Do we get a return kill? No. That's another ability we just used. Tiny does survive, fortunately, because they don't have detection. Now we've lost another hero here. They haven't even touched the tier 3 towers yet. So what we wanted was a full 5-on-5 at our high ground. The high ground kind of cancels out their Aegis, not fully, but that's the best we can do. We have all of our abilities versus all of their abilities. Now, they finally come high ground, and what do we have? Dead Spectre too now, by the way. Now let's wait. Let's let them actually hit a tier 3. Here they are hitting tier 3. I can't talk, guys. They're finally hitting tier 3 now. Are we able to do our 5-on-5 that we wanted? No, if you look at that, we have 3 heroes dead. So it's a 5-on-2. Are we ever going to defend this? No. All of this has not stopped since about 28.5 minutes here, when we were in the lead after that Sven kill, and ever since running into this fight, we never let the game reset. We continuously got picked off or made bad choices, defended the wrong objectives. Now we are finally here where we should have had a chance to fight back, but we've given up our chance to fight back by making all those poor decisions. And they're just going to get this for free. We can't even fight back. Now he's dead, which means, you know, first off, we had tier 2s, right? So their next best, like, they could either try to take this Rax and then back off, go get this tower, another chance for us to reset when everyone comes back alive. Or they try to end the game, which is a little scary, right? Because they don't have God Strength and all of that. And by that time, like, we're hoping Spectre and Necrophos would have respawned. But now Beastmaster is dead. So now they could end the game if they wanted to, or they could do this, which is fairly safe. And they still have time to come up here, because right now, we would have been able to fight. All our heroes are up. Did Beastmaster buy any time by dying here? He didn't. I'll tell you that. That's what's really important, to be able to cut things off and decide, we just have to give up this Rax. And we'll have another chance to fight here. This could have been a 5-on-5 right here. Still favoring them because they're quite in the lead now because of all our other mistakes. But again, a 5-on-5 at our high ground is our best shot. Why aren't we doing that? Because we're dying everywhere else. We're not even going to talk about the rest of this game. I think you can tell that this is not going to get salvaged. So, let's summarize that. We played too aggressive as a team that didn't need to. This was the team that needed to be aggressive and take risks. We didn't have to do that. We just wanted the normal game to play out and we would win. But instead we took risks, and that opened up the chance to lose. We never let ourselves reset, and we snowballed into a loss. That's a lesson for you guys. Identify when you are happy with how the game is going. When that is the case, you don't need to take risks. Really that easy. And then just to know to reset. Kind of 2 lessons, I guess. But they're very closely related. So that's it. Let me know if you like this style where we just focus on one thing. 19 minutes is a little longer than I meant. I had meant this to just be around 10 minutes. But I suppose that's about to be expected because it was a 7-minute snowball loss. But generally, these will be fairly short. I will aim for like 10 to 20 minutes on these videos. And we'll just focus on the 1 or 2 mistakes, core lessons per game/video. Maybe there'll be multiple lessons in a game or something. But yeah, let me know what you think. Have a great day.